Alright guys, we're ready with our next run. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. 2 players, 1 controller by ApacheSmash Mayuuchaan. Take it away, guys.
Hi guys, I'm Mayu, this is Apache, and like you can see, I look a bit strange. I don't know, for me it's a thing to cosplay as characters, and I thought, hey, 2 player, 1 controller, you're playing Metal Gear Solid 2. So, I'm riding now. So, Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, 2 player, 1 controller on the very easy difficulty. Yeah, we are still trying to compete for better times, and we are joined by Plywood and D-Limes.
What's going on,
Morning.
everybody?
Okay, so timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, guys.
So, good luck.
Thank you.
So this is a very strange feeling for me personally because I've done multiple 2-player 1-controller runs, including in Metal Gear games, including this game, and now I'm commentating one. I kind of am feeling an out-of-body experience this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely different than your typical cup of tea when you're just doing solo runs. It takes a lot of coordination, a lot of teamwork when it comes to these things. I don't have any hands-on experience as of yet doing 2P1C, but
Soon
these
TM.
two have soon TM. We should have already, but that's another
Yeah.
story. But these two have a lot of experience. They've been practicing over the last 6 weeks or so with this, and it should be a fun time for sure.
We really hope so.
So we're seeing the tanker chapter right now. There's 2 chapters in this game. The first chapter, the tanker chapter, sees us controlling Solid Snake. You might be noticing that Apache and Mayu are rolling into load zones, and that's a little bit faster than just running up the stairs or running down the stairs. We're going into our first boss fight, Olga, and we hope that Olga goes down like she just did. This is going to allow us to have a faster Olga than if she went left, which can happen randomly.
Conflict and victory were my parents. The unit.
Yeah, they're basically aiming for headshots here. 4 headshots would end the fight, and they got good RNG as well. Olga went forward to end the fight instead of going back to the tarp. Very clean, very efficient fight for sure. Well done.
Nice. So now that they've taken out Olga, they get Olga's weapon, which is a USP, and we need that for progressing through the tanker. So now we're going to be going down deep into the tanker to go find the new prototype Metal Gear that is stored on this boat. Now, I believe, unless it's mirrored, I think Apache is on movement and Mayu is on buttons. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. I was hoping you two didn't throw the mix up and had like a mirrored camera.
No.
So movement is really important, very easy, because alerts do not stick through rooms. A lot of this run is down to the movement, but once we get to the second chapter, there's going to be a lot of new movement tech because we'll be playing a new character.
Yeah, so very important that they drop down at a particular spot on the rail so they can trank that guard. If you drop down too early, then the guard just doesn't move for whatever reason. Not a lot going on in this engine room. They're going to get to the end of the engine room, take a cutscene, skip it, and then they're going to shoot out 1 sensor for some Semtex explosives. You don't want to shoot the explosives because we do not want to blow up the ship.
Very easy.
bad.
We only have 1 sensor to blow up, which makes our job fairly convenient. Very nice. Took it out.
Repair of the entranceway to the engine room on the port side is complete.
Now,
Coming
deck
up.
2 can be a
Oh,
little
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say deck 2 can be a little tricky at times. In this hallway, you have 3 guards, and if you get spotted, it is an instant alert. There is no calling for backup. You do have to be pretty careful here. They're just gonna trank this guard coming up, and then the second guard they're gonna also trank and hopefully not get an alert. Very nice.
Yeah, that turning around the corner shot, there really isn't that much room to get that shot. So if you trank him too slowly, you'll still take him out, but then the alert will happen, and then there's going to be guards that spawn in the hallway, which is a bit of a hassle.
So the guard rush encounter coming up, 7 total guards, 4 in the first wave, 3 in the last wave. We're going to be using USP for the entire fight. It is faster than the M9. Very good first wave.
That was really clean, and you're going to see them get these nice, cute little shots on the last 3. Okay, we missed the last guard, but honestly, like, that first part was chef's kiss, moi.
Yes, that was
very nice.
That was mint for sure.
Now for one of the scariest rooms in the entire game. Hold 1. Doing the ladder glitch.
Very well executed.
So the ladder glitch, you do a series of inputs after climbing the ladder while having the camera out. And that will allow you to control Snake as he's freaking out. And we'll get to the bottom. Hold 2, pressing the projector button. Just holding up guards as we move around to the left side. That roll is really important because that's a noisy floor, and the guard will hear it, even on very easy. Very easy guards do have worse hearing, but that doesn't really matter because that spot right there is still designed to get you. So, and you're going to see a bit of a weird setup here to get all the photos. One of these photos is the Marines lettering, which is on the back side of Metal Gear Ray, but you don't actually have to go to the back side as long as you know how to position yourself on the floor and angle the camera.
I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if
that's-
you had got all the photos there because I couldn't hear the sound of like the game.
Oh.
And defeated a safe boss. By the way, I'd like to say sorry for the button mashing you may be hearing from time to time. This is like the bad part about my side. It's
Oh, that's not a problem at all. But yeah, we are at the end of the tanker chapter. Now we are into the plant chapter where we'll be playing as Raiden. Raiden controls a little bit differently. You're going to be seeing a lot of cartwheels, or as some people call them, aerials. You do move faster if you cartwheel, mostly on straightaways and over gaps downstairs. You do want to be mindful of your cartwheels because you can lose a lot of time if you mess them up. But for the first few minutes of the plant chapter, we're just going through some tutorials, skipping a lot of codecs, a lot of cutscenes. So not a whole lot going on until we get to the bomb disposal section of the route.
On that note, there your birth date comes up, and speaking of birthdays, it's D Limes' birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday for them, dude.
I didn't even know that.
Thanks for joining us here. He's 55.
Yeah, right. Right. I'll be announcing my retirement from speedrunning, so.
Veteran.
But we got some 200 IQ guards here. I mean, can't see Raiden, so it's gonna get even more funny because it's gonna get right up to the elevator door and can't see. I mean, that's wonderful vision for sure.
It's him. Everyone, stay on guard.
Just funny to see every time.
There he goes. I mean, he's calling it in.
Yeah, but he's in another room now, so can't do anything.
So unlike the tanker chapter, which takes place at night, Raiden's chapter, plant, takes place in the middle of the day, basically. We're going to see like a full day here in like about an hour. It's because of all those cutscenes that we skip. That's where the real progression of time happens in this game.
So one small thing to mention is they ended the tanker with the USP equipped. When they picked up the M9, they were able to just quick equip to it because it was still on their previous inventory. And then they're going to take this one step further by unequipping the M9 before this Pliskin cutscene coming up. So they can quickly equip the M9 again after the Stillman cutscene. So if you got all that, that all adds up to about a 0.3 second time save that we've spent hours trying to science. So that's just the nature of very easy.
Yeah, trying to optimize menus in this game can be a bit weird because certain cutscenes will cause you to equip certain weapons, and because of how previous works, sometimes you don't want to have a weapon out, sometimes you do. So this sort of stuff has taken a while to all come together, especially for very easy, which for a long time was not really a category ran by most people in the community, but nowadays is actually the most popular difficulty for Metal Gear Solid 2.
We're actually currently running a league for it with 11 players every Thursday on the Metal Gear Speedrunners Twitch channel. So every Thursday we show live games from the league.
Everyone commentating and playing in this run is actually in that league.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we love our very easy, that's for sure, but it is not as easy as you think.
It's very extreme, not very easy.
Right. So the start of the bomb disposal section, we're going to be going around to each of the struts and defusing one bomb from each strut. Here we're just going to open this hatch, defuse this bomb with our coolant spray, and then take out this guard after the codec call.
One thing you'll be seeing the runners do is spray the coolant in a specific locations for each bomb. That's so you can spray multiple faces of the bomb, and then you'll get what we call a fast bomb rather than a slow bomb.
Yeah, not all bombs can be fast bombs. Some are just far away. Some are just in awkward places where you can't really get to multiple faces. So you'll see fast bomb a couple of times.
Part of the beauty of very easy is as this category has become more and more optimized, is we have to get more and more creative with how we save time in terms of our movement, like cartwheeling right into staircases.
We went for the fast cartwheel up the stairs, but we just did it too early.
Yeah, last time
Yeah,
we did
there's a
it too
cartwheel
late.
you can do there where you just turn while holding down left, and just after Raiden turns down left, he'll completely clear the staircase, which is pretty cool looking. They went for it, but if you do it a little bit too early or a little bit too late, you'll end up just rolling into the wall.
I heard a loud noise in my background for a moment. I was wondering what the heck it was, and I realized, oh, it's like 7:55 a.m. That's when my automatic vacuum turns on, so I had to shut that off real quick. So that was fun. EF Bridge coming up here. There are a bunch of Claymore mines scattered throughout the bridge. You do obviously want to dodge these mines and avoid these at all costs, because you will get an instant alert if you do trip one of these mines, and then ciphers will come and you'll get shot and lose a bunch of time. But well done, avoided that.
Very nice drop down from the rail, not getting Raiden's back on the rail. It's faster to just climb over the rail by mashing triangle rather than holding the direction into the rail and then watching Raiden go against the rail, then pressing triangle. So very clean to see that happen.
This room can be a little tricky because you have to take out this guard. You'll get spotted by a Cypher intentionally, and then there'll be a backup guard that comes. If you're not careful, you can get kicked by that guard, but that was well done.
And now for, I think, people's, generally speaking, one of their least favorite rooms in the bomb disposal, Strut A pump room. We're going to be spraying the bomb from the back rather than where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to crawl under a pipe and reach it from there, but you can actually get a little cheesy spray from the back. There's multiple setups to do that. One thing you're also probably noticing is they are skipping the animation of Raiden standing up, and that's what we call the coolant rise. You take out your coolant, press X, and then you unequip your coolant, and that'll skip the animation of standing up, which can save quite a bit of time throughout the run every time you do that coolant rise.
Yeah, you also number that there are a number of codecs that are being answered. Some of them are force codecs. So if you know where they are, as soon as you enter the load zone or room, you can just hold select and answer it on first frame. If you let the codec like ring come in, it's like a good 2 seconds or so. It's a very long ring. So if you know where they are, you can definitely save a lot of time. And this is another example of fast bomb. You just close the locker and it diffuses the bomb quicker every time. Fast bomb saves about 1.25 seconds over a traditional bomb.
And knowing where all those codecs are throughout the run, regardless of if you can buffer with them with select or not, it saves a lot of time knowing where all those codecs are and then timing your fast forwards appropriately, because you have to tap triangle to fast forward through the codec, and timing that well can be a little bit tricky. Not like, you know, doing a triple tap or being too slow with it. It's I use a visual cue personally with the codec. There's like a little bar that happens. You kind of watch that rise, but it still can be kind of hard to like time it just right. So you just have to do 2 inputs without losing too much time.
There's 4 different speeds as well for the codec coming in.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the one we just picked up there is the fastest. And then the one that rings out, like the kernel codecs, they're the slowest. And then Rose is like in between them as well.
Speaking of bonus codec scenes, when do you guys need to know about the donation bid war?
It's towards the end of the run. We will give you like a lot of advance notice when it's coming up. So
Alright, brilliant.
We do have a bid war going on for killing the seagulls or not killing the seagulls during the oil fence. I snuck this one in while Mayu wasn't looking because she hates killing the seagulls.
Yes, I really do.
If you don't want to kill the seagulls, get your donations in for that. And as I say, we've got plenty of time still before we need to close that one off.
Please help me, I don't want to kill them.
A slight spoiler, Kill the Seagulls is currently in the lead.
Kill those seagulls.
I thought
Very
so.
nice.
Everyone hates the seagulls except for me.
I don't like killing the seagulls. Now, I have a question. Are you going to listen to the codec after you kill too
Yes.
many seagulls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to do that. There's a lot of Easter egg codecs in this game, and one of them will happen if you kill too many birds in the game. And it's pretty amusing and very appropriate.
Yeah.
So now we're heading back down here to where we started. We're defusing one of our mega super bombs, even though it looks the exact same. We picked up a sensor to have this bomb activate, sensor B, but we actually don't use the sensor. It's just for story flag purposes. So now that we defuse that bomb, we're going to be coming up to our next encounter, which is Fortune. It's a boss fight, but it's really not. It's somewhat of an auto-scroller, but you do have to do things in a certain order. You're going to see a punch buffer here at the start, 3 punches and then crouch. Both elements are very important. We want Fortune to shoot the boxes, the forklift, the lights, and then we're going to try to bait her into shooting some more boxes and then eventually the golden barrels at the left and right front of the rooms. The punch buffer is the most important because she can give you additional dialogue and it can just prolong the fight by 10, 20, 30 seconds.
Now we have to hope a bit that she's nice to us. And we'll shoot the barrels. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes she can whiff and just either shoot you or shoot nothing or shoot the barrels. It just kind of depends.
You can also shoot us here, right?
That's
really
actually
nice
really
to
nice.
us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty quick on those barrels. Now she's just going to continue to shoot, and then a codec call will come in, and then the quote-unquote fight is going to end. There it is.
That's about as fast as you can do it. So nothing.
That
Yeah,
a
that was
very fast
pretty good.
Fortune.
Yep.
Even though it's kind of hard to tell as a viewer, and even if you've played this game a bit, it's like, well, what's the big deal? But there are things you have to do within that auto scroller to make it faster. So really well done. Ooh, they had the Claymore trip. Yeah, so there's a certain angle with your movement where you can cause Claymores to go off without actually getting hurt by them. It depends on the Claymore, but basically you approach it just close enough that it trips without you getting blown up. It's pretty neat.
Do I have time for one quick donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have $10 from Emphas. Had to donate during my own reader's run. Good luck and cooperation.
Thanks a lot for that. I'm really glad he's here.
Thank you very much for your donation. Please keep them coming, guys. And back to you guys.
Thank you. So we're heading up to the heliport, which we visited earlier. We're going to be facing off against Fat Man. And they're going to be taking a lethal approach for Fat Man. You can go non-lethal or lethal. Non-lethal can be faster, but it's very tricky, even as one person. So,
Yeah. Not recommended with 2 people.
no,
That would be,
no, that'd be
one
pretty
whale of a feat for
pretty
sure.
crazy to watch. So, Fat Man's always going to come to the top, so we're going to spray this bomb first. And we're going to dome him twice. You can dome Fat Man once he falls to the ground and then once the stars appear. And then he's going to go in a random direction. You track him, and then that's it. He's gone. Get a fast bomb on the last bomb. And now there's a bomb hiding underneath Fat Man.
Now that looks like a mega bomb.
Yeah, that's a big boy. That's a big boy bomb.
But thankfully, we are done with all the bombs.
Yay! No more bombs.
So now we are meeting a ninja or an informant that is going to tell us kind of the whereabouts of where the president is located, because our main objective was to rescue the president at some point. We actually don't know where he is, so we're going to go meet a informant or Secret Service agent named Richard Ames. So the ninja gave us the BDU outfit, kind of a disguise, so we can disguise ourselves as an enemy soldier. We'll have to pick up an accompanying weapon as well. That way we have to full disguise, and then we'll go meet Mr. Ames.
One question, though. President of what?
Of the United States.
Oh, right.
It's early. Give me a break.
It's actually a reference to Escape from New York, which Snake Plissken, who Solid Snake is partially based off of, says that line as he's rescuing the president in Escape from New York. He goes,
I appreciate
"President
you,
of
my
what?"
lord. I appreciate it. Don't worry about it. Don't,
We have
ask
to-
that. Don't try and put in a movie or music reference to D Limes. All he knows.
No,
is
Limes is not going to catch it, but I wanted to
Nope.
explain it for everyone that there was a reason why I said that. This AK is this spawn is unique to very easy, and it actually saves quite a bit of time in this run. Every other run that I know of, every other category, you have to go to strut F to pick up the AK SF74U. But on very easy, it's actually in Shell 1 core, which was a huge routing time save when it was discovered. Not too long ago, probably like a year ago or so.
2018.
About 2 years to this point. Yeah, it saves about 20 plus seconds over going all the way to strut F. So now they're going to pick up the directional microphone because Ames has a pacemaker, and that's the only way we're going to be able to hear his heartbeat. So yeah.
A little fun fact, every time he walks between the two guards, I'm holding my breath because I'm always scared we are bumping them. If you bump the guards in the BDU, you will lose the disguise.
Yeah, riding like Superman's the whole outfit, or like one of those like one-piece suits where you rip it off in a music video. That's what happens for Raiden. It's not good. Not good at all. So you're going to do a setup here to grab the guard and have a very clean shot on this retinal scanner. Very important that you time that knock on the wall well, otherwise the guard will walk instead of run, and that loses several seconds. It's pretty bad.
All right, so there are about 20 some hostages in this room. Ames is right there. He's basically the guy with the mullet, but his position is randomized since we're playing on New Game Plus. But that was a very good aim spawn. Didn't really waste much time at all.
And important that they keep the BDU off, because that actually does lose you time with these cutscenes. For some reason in this game, even on the PC version where the load times are super fast, the BDU causes time loss in cutscenes. So you don't want to have it on. And since guard vision, there's only one guard in the hostage room we have to worry about. We're never going to run into them, so it's all good.
Spectral, if you want to jump in here, this is a good time.
All right, I can jump in for a little bit. We have currently no donations, but we still have that bid war to save or kill the seagulls.
Please save them.
It doesn't look too likely at the moment, but if you guys want to change that and you want to save some frames as well as these seagulls, then put any donations towards that. I would like to remind people quickly that I will remind you as soon as I get to the blurb. Sorry. We are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training and support with housing, employment and health. 100% of your donations will be supporting Crisis. And we would like to also to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing over their channel for streaming, they share gear, technical assistance, and sponsors. Be sure to check out ESA's next event, Break the Record Live, Psychovenge DX Edition, from the 30th of October to the 1st of November.
Thank you. So we went and picked up the PSG-1 so we can take out... It's literally so we can take out one bomb coming up. One bomb sensor. There's one pesky bomb sensor we can't shoot with our pistol. And for later on for the sniping sequence. But we're going to be taking out several sensors here so we can clear this bridge. And then following that, we'll be fighting the Harrier plane, jet plane, which is always a stressful part of this run. One of the most tricky and meaningful parts of this run in terms of time save versus time loss.
Very clean on those sensors. So what you're going to see from the Harrier fight coming up, they're going to do a 2 shots at the beginning. The Harrier's going to fly away, and then they're going to get a few more shots as the Harrier's coming back towards them. There are many, many different ways you can do this fight. This is probably one of the easier ones if you're doing 2 players, 1 controller, or even just in general for some people.
It's not really hard.
Yeah, I mean,
This is categorically the hardest bit of the whole run.
even if you're well practiced with this, you only get 1 shot at it during the run, which just adds to the stress of it. That's a really clever use of the cutscene. Once you a certain portion of that cutscene has elapsed, you can get 2 shots on the Harrier as long as you're aiming in the proper spot. No, the missiles! It's okay, we're on
I
very
got the shot in there.
Wow.
I
What?
can't believe you managed to
I did
see a
not
second
expect that
shot.
to work.
Yeah, I didn't think that could work. That was my bad.
I was practicing this Harrier a lot because doing it like this isn't that common, but I'm doing it on my own because as a solo runner, I'm still kind of new to the game.
Well, that was
was an
super
incredible-
exciting for sure. Wow.
That was the deepest 2 style shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, it just like mentally, like I just thought, I need to go. We need to go to the next bit. I didn't think that second shot could hit if you missed the first one.
It's possible if you're fast enough. I was engineering around with that Harrier in particular.
Wow. Mayu's got the info. Can we get a triple shot then?
I don't think
Is
so.
that
because
possible?
I think because the stinger wasn't locked on. If stingers are not locked on, they blow up. Oh my god.
What?
Because we were holding square on the chaff grenade, it got thrown further, which distracted the guard. Normally we purposely get an alert here, so we skip a cutscene. But since we've got the cutscene, should we let the cutscene play?
No.
That's
It's
that's like what's rank 1 for very easy? That's a rank 1 very easy strat.
yeah.
Flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel
That's a
strat.
flying squirrel strat right there.
Yeah, I think
We're gonna have to clip that for the legendary flying squirrel run that we'll see at some point in the future.
Right, of course.
so early.
Oh God.
Whoa!
Both of those cartwheels were so early.
Yes.
That was like
This whole
was-
section, oh my.
That was just enough. Just enough. And that's a good way to keep everyone on their toes.
Okay, Art, you can stop now. Yeah. But this is MGS2 very easy if you love heart attacks and speedruns.
Yeah, the section after Harrier, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of cartwheels you have to do. You have to shimmy over ledges, cartwheel over gaps. It's a very scary section, and we just didn't have time to get to any of it. So, hope you all enjoyed that heart attack.
I did not enjoy
Oh.
it.
Me neither. Especially, I guess you could even see it on my face. I was caught and you could see my face like, damn. That was
Yeah, people don't realize that this game is actually a platformer, but it actually is.
Right.
platformer with some shooting elements.
Yep.
So they just picked up the Nikita missile launcher, which has a very, very large hitbox, as you saw there. We're going to be taking out a circuit panel inside the room where the president is being held. Kind of a flashback to like MGS1, where you take out a circuit panel, navigating a missile through the vent, hopefully not injuring or killing the president, like some people have in the past.
That was weird.
And then we'll be able to rescue him.
We got both elevators were fast, by the way, which is super rare. You don't even get one in most runs. So when we double tap the elevator, there's a chance that it can open instantly, and there's like a 1% chance that will happen or something. It's very, very low in this game.
Yeah, fast elevator will save about 2.5 seconds or so, but like Apache said, it's pretty rare in this game. I would peg it around like 10% ish.
Yeah, there's there's what, 6 elevators you press in the game, and the likelihood is you'll get no fast ones in most runs.
And there you had 2 seconds gameplay to go into the next cutscene codec section.
A really good job with that movement. More cutscenes. These are some of the most important cutscenes in the game, so you know
Yeah.
this is an important part of the story. But I mean, we don't got time for that.
We have to finish the game fast. We don't have time for a story.
We have to get to the seagulls cutscene.
Yes.
So now that we sort of kind of saved the president, well, we saved the president's information and got a key card from him. We're now going to go into the basement and swim through a whole flooded chamber. There is an alternative strat here that we call the swim glitch, but it's one of those things that's hard enough as it is as one person, and the margin of error is very small to save any time on PC. As your load times get slower, the margin increases. So like on other versions, like if you're playing on PlayStation 2 Substance, for example, but on PC, because the load times are so fast, it doesn't really save too much time. It's just a few seconds to do that swim glitch.
So the vamp fight coming up here, you're going to see them use stingers. We're going to fire them at Vamp's feet in the water. We're not going to spam them, but we're just going to fire them in a particular rhythm.
Yeah, you can use the
Very nice.
red life depleting from his health bar as a visual cue, or just kind of feel out the rhythm. At one point when we were doing lethal vamp, we were just spamming missiles, and it was way less consistent and also just very expensive in terms of how many stingers you use. So when that cue was found by Raichu, it made a big difference, because we would save some stingers and just be more consistent at our pacing. And honestly, like, the vamp lethal strat is quite easy now, I would say. I mean, you can still mess it up if you just throw off your rhythm a little bit, but honestly, like, it's a lot better than how we used to do it.
It's more the psychological element, because the cost of missing it is just so high. It's like, 20 seconds or so, it's...
Yeah, it's all about hashtag psychology.
Yeah.
So now we are escorting Emma Emmerich, which is Otacon's younger sister. And this first little room here, we don't actually need to hold her hand to initiate the next cutscene sequence, but from here on out, we do need to hold her hand and bring her into each loading zone, basically.
And just
there's
for
a
the
whole...
sake of the section, we are holding hands as well.
Oh, oh nice.
But we still have to focus on the game, kind of.
We always have to focus on the game. There's no breaks for that.
Hey, there is one break, but
no,
if you
there's
have to
two.
kill the birds, then there is no break.
So, but if I'm cosplaying right now, you're Emma.
I guess that makes me Emma.
Yep.
My least favorite character.
Good job on being your least favorite.
You got enough hair to pull that off, at least. But...
True.
You just need the lacquered chopsticks, Apache.
Yeah, so coming up here, we're going to try to get to the elevator, but there's going to be a ton of bugs on the floor for whatever reason. Emma really isn't too fond of these bugs, so we're we're gonna give her a little hug and just tell her everything's all right, and just
It's okay. It's just
just get in
bugs.
the
You can
elevator.
do that.
Yeah, they're just little moving things. Who cares? So movement is very, very important in this section, just because you do move very slow. And for example, with this guard, your movement is very key, because if you have bad movement or slow movement, you'll get spotted by this guard. It was a little close there.
It's so dicey.
Yeah.
It's so dicey.
Oh, that was, yeah. And the other thing is, you can't use weapons while you're holding Emma's hand. So if you need to attack or do something, you have to let go.
And then there's the glitch that can happen here as well. A radio call can go out regardless after you kill the guard, and a backup unit can enter. And if it happens in like a PB attempt, your run's kind of dead because it loses so much time. I don't think we got a. I don't think that was.
That was
Oh my
a-
god, that was
Wow,
so
it
close.
worked.
That was a suspect bump.
I was
Yes.
so lucky.
So the Emma bump, basically you get her to the edge of the door and then bump her into the load zone. She'll spawn a few steps forward once you come out of the room.
You both
It's very prone to soft locking on the HD collection, because Emma will just fall through the level into the ocean, and you can't retrieve her. On PC and PS2 versions, it pretty much never happens. It's generally pretty safe, but it saves a couple seconds.
And the incentive for Kill the Seagulls is coming up. So once we go through this next room, once we get to the end of this next room, Spectral, if you can close it. So if there's any time for any last minute donations that people might have before we either start killing the seagulls or don't kill them.
Alrighty. Speaking of which, we did have another $10 donation from Steve Ladd. As a Blackpool native, get those seagulls saved. Smashing it, guys.
Thanks, Steve. Steve is one of my closest friends in real life, so good to see you, dude.
He did put those $10 towards saving them.
It's not enough, is it?
Please let it be enough.
I won't spoil it just yet.
So this is it. This is where we do it.
All right, this is the cutoff.
Yeah.
We're going to be killing those seagulls and becoming
Oh!
monsters.
Guys.
Oh,
Oh no.
So before we go on a little seagull massacre, we do have to do this part correctly, essentially, because the only time you can lose is from Emma getting seen, or Emma can occasionally fall over as well. We stand in a certain spot to make sure that doesn't happen.
yeah, for whatever reason, if you look in Emma's direction in the scope, or in the PSG-1 scope, or sometimes just in first-person view, she has a tendency to trip and fall, and that loses about 8 seconds. But more importantly, if guards or ciphers see Emma, you're losing way, way more than that. So even though this is somewhat of a slow section in the game, you do have to be on your toes and be mindful of what you have to do regarding the enemies and ciphers.
I don't want to, but I have to, right?
Yeah. It's for charity.
True.
Alright, so, seagulls.
I feel so bad about that.
After we kill a certain amount, it's going to play a hidden codex. That's 3.
Yep, I think you got to do 10.
Yeah.
I think there's 16 on the whole map.
Yeah, they don't respawn, so you can actually kill them all. One more, maybe?
Right. Do you actually enjoy abusing helpless
You
animals?
don't have to hold hands
I
anymore,
don't
by the way.
believe this. I had no idea you were that kind of a monster.
I don't understand you, Raiden. If you're satisfied, get back to the mission.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
So the real monster was the UKSG viewers all.
Yeah.
There's tons of things like that in the game, so there's all kinds of hidden codex there. Good. should be another one somewhere, but maybe not. Yeah, there's too many for us to go through in this run. You know, with the hidden codex and additional things you can look at. There is so much in this game.
Yeah, you can definitely spend hours and hours discovering all kinds of cool little neat things. Definitely a very full game as far as content.
We'll try and get the rest of the remaining seagulls once she gets to the second tower. It's just we have to do some things first. It's killed the seagulls.
But not all!
It's all of them.
It's just stated for the extra codec.
No, it's all of them.
That wasn't part of the
Yeah,
plan.
you
That
gotta
wasn't
finish
part of
your
my
job.
contract.
You already started it.
Yeah.
So 2 more guards here on this pillar, and then they'll take out 1 more cipher, and then they can get back to the massacre.
I shut the radio.
Yeah.
All planned.
Alright.
It's really hard to
These
hit
ones are
them.
like the harder ones to get. Especially doing 2p1c.
Cypher.
Alright, go down to 20 bullets.
Yeah, every time you get down to 20 bullets, you'll have ammo packs appear. So it's a good way to get a free ammo refill, which will be very important for the vamp fight coming up at the end of this section. If your ammo is too low, then you'll have an ammo box just spawn right in front of you, and that can really mess things up for the fight.
Please no.
Yeah, we
got one more. What's that?
I know.
Did we get all the seagulls?
I don't think so.
You got time. There we go.
I don't feel good about this.
I shoot them every time.
UKSG viewers are the real monsters here.
At least it made this section a little more exciting.
Yes, so Seagull.
Go for it.
On the higher difficulties, there is more to do. There's like claymore mines that are on a couple sections of this oil fence, but on very easy there are no mines. You gotta fill the time somehow. So the Vamp 2 fight coming up. Don't blink, because it is a very short fight. And that's the fight. So basically, you just spam body shots into him. You may occasionally hit Emma, but she's a trooper. She can take it.
Okay, you can shoot through Emma to get to them.
Yeah, Emma's actually a ghost. She's bulletproof.
So we fought Vamp twice, and the fights combined were 6 seconds. So wonderful fights from Vamp.
Yeah, he really put pressure on us there.
So they are now going to head into the Shell 1 core for the final time. They have to get to Emma and get to the computer room to inject a virus into Arsenal gear. You do want to be careful in this section that you don't get an alert or take a game over here, because you'll notice the little time left on the screen. If you get a game over at any point, you get sent back to the beginning of the section, and that can lose a ton of time.
Like, if you're really fallen through the bridge, for example, it loses you like 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we are now entering Arsenal Gear, which is like the final portion of the plant chapter and of this game. We have been captured into a room that's very similar to the torture chamber from Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation.
Don't you? You've grown.
And you all remember this guy, don't you? Got an eye patch, tentacles. He's your dad. This is everyone's dad.
Oh my gosh, this gives the scene a whole new meaning if you say it's your dad.
Is this a Spider-Man reference? Is it Doc Ock? Is it a crossover episode?
Did Spider-Man 2 come out after this game or before? I feel like Spider-Man 2 came out after this game, but I really can't remember. 01? I don't know when Spider-Man 2 came out.
No, I'm sure the comic was first, but...
So neat little optimization here is eventually we get a call from Rose if we just sit there and wait. But if we call her, it expedites us getting released. And now we are on to the Nikki section of the game.
We have no gear, no equipment. Very vulnerable here. Very important that you hold select for this initial codec. That way this Tengu does not spot you. If any Tengu spots you, it's an immediate alert, so that's not something we want to really deal with when we have no equipment.
And there is a little more risky strategy you can do by approaching that Tengu on the other side of the room, and there's cartwheeling into him. And this gap is also very hard to get over. If you fall through that hole, you're losing at least 11 seconds because you have to navigate on the bottom floor and then get back upstairs. Very well done to get over that gap. That is very hard to do on 2P1C.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest gap in the entire game, and definitely the one that's very stressful. I think the only other gaps that are quite as stressful are the ones
And
after
now,
Harrier.
little shout out to our friends at MGSR, especially Metal Gear Solid, who requested that one.
Tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carry Rock. I need scissors. 61.
Just wanted to play that special for Glenn.
Yeah.
He played that during a race which he didn't know he was winning.
Yeah, so here we're just answering a series of codec calls, 6 in total. The 6 will be Rose. And then we'll eventually get our equipment back. We'll meet up with Snake, and we'll get a nice gift, which is the high-frequency blade. It's very important that you swipe as soon as you get control of Raiden again, because it starts a 45-second timer. It's basically a tutorial, the game making sure you know how to use the blade. And if you never swipe, then you just stay in here forever. Or if you hang out in the southern portion of the room for whatever reason, and the 45-second timer expires, the game won't actually progress until you head back to the northern part of the room. So swipe the blade, stay north of where you spawn, and you'll be all right.
Spectral, if you want to jump in here, you've got time for one, mate.
Unfortunately, there's no further donations, but just like to remind people after this run coming up, we have Neo Space 2.
So we're now entering Tengu 1 of 2. This is Tengu 1, and we are going to be skipping this portion by doing a fun little glitch that involves us going into first person along the door, punch kicking, and then once the kick happens, we release first person view. But first we need to take out these guards just so they don't cause our aim to get off kilter, and very nice, very clean, skips Tengu 1. Pretty major skip in this run.
Yeah, Tengu 2, there's no skip port on very easy. There is on some of the higher difficulties. So we're just going to take out Tengus basically as fast as we can. We stand in this position to get a pretty good angle on them, and it's less likely that the Tengus will actually drop down to the ground. Snake is taking care of any other Tengus that spawn from the other side of the room, or any that do drop down. There is a bit of variance in this room. It could be like about a 15-20 second variance, depending if Snake wants to help or doesn't shoot, or Tengu
Or
just
if the
hang up there like
Tengus
that.
troll you.
That Tengu is just standing right outside the door. Yeah, the pace of how the Tengus come out of that spawn area is not consistent. This whole area is just not consistent. Basically, the only thing you have going for you is your own ability to manage them moving at different paces. Because sometimes Snake is really good at killing Tengus, and sometimes he's just not. It just depends on what Tengus come down and how he's doing, how they deflect his shots, etc. Now we
So
have a nice little auto scroller of our big dad rambling at us about S3 plans and bait. I think he wants to go fishing.
By the way, plot twist, BlizzCon was Snake all along. Forgot to mention that.
Way, really?
I know, it's surprising.
Yeah, this section is unskippable, as you can probably already tell. 90 seconds of just kind of
Buffer anyway.
wait around and do nothing before the epic Ray fight coming up.
Yep. This is just so everyone knows, this speech you could fit like 10 very easy Ray fights
Yeah.
in this portion of this
Oh, yeah.
speech.
Those days during the Civil War were as real as they come. Every day was absolute, split between life and death. You ran from it, and now you've been led back to war by something less.
Little fun fact, every time Apache was playing this game, he was starting to do the dialogue that Solidus does, and I started doing the same. So I will always speak the dialogue, either quiet or loud, depending. Right now I was just doing it. Yeah. Right now I was just doing it quietly in my head.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
So hope you didn't blink, because that was the Ray fight.
Yeah, to get the first shot out, it's a lot easier if you hold the menu to buffer. You can get the stinger out as early as possible if you just hold the menu. It's a little bit slower, but if you're learning the Ray fight and you struggle with it, it's a really good trick. And it was JMC who actually told me about that.
Yeah.
Really good strat.
By the way, fun fact with this scene, you can see different characters standing around.
Yeah, and you can also see Ray on the right.
Yeah, so here you actually have to mash a little bit. On very easy, it only lasts 10 seconds, the torture sequence. On higher difficulties, it can last for much, much longer. And you're really not in danger of dying or really losing much health. And even if you lose health on very easy, you get an automatic health refill at the start of the Solidus fight coming up.
Someone just messaged Linkboss and let him know time's coming up after this fight, just in case he's not in the channel. I can't see the Discord, but
Yeah,
time's
same.
coming up at the end of this fight.
Yep. Oh, yep, and I'll give a little signal. So
Perfect.
Just before the end of this fight, I'd just like to say Zero Ciaran has donated $50. Thank you very much, man, for your donation.
very
Thank you very
nice.
much. That
Thanks
was
a lot.
really kind of you.
Thank you for the generosity.
Time is
So-
on the final hit.
Yeah, final hit of Solidus is time. So this is the Big Daddy fight. We want to position ourselves far enough away that we get the missile attack, because if you're too close to Solidus, he will start flying around, jetting around, causing fire, and it's a big waste of time. And this is where things get interesting, because he's gonna drop his missile arms, which I think is kind of the wrong choice, but whatever. I would keep those on personally. Now he's going to be jetting around constantly and then going for an attack. We hope for the people's elbow, as we call it, rather than a triple attack, as he gave it right there. And time's coming up real quick.
And time.
Whoa, that was Metal Gear Solid 2. Sensibility on the PC. We did 2 players, 1 controller.
Yeah, we did it all the time. I mean, you could see it. In the MS section, you could see it because our hands were here.
Thanks to D-Lime13 and Plywood for commentating. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning for those guys, so I really appreciate you coming. All 4 of us are from a community called Metal Gear Speedrunners. MetalGearSpeedrunners.com, join the Discord. If you want to learn any of these games, the second player is not included, but there is a guide for this game if you want to learn how to play it on D-Lime's YouTube channel. Guys, if you've got anything to say.
Yeah, feel free to check out our community, and we have a full, very easy league going on right now on our channel, with everyone commentating and running is participating in this league. So if you want to check out how solo players do this run, rather than just the 2 players, which was still very impressive, please check us out at MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. Thank you for having us, UKSG.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was a blast.
Yeah, and I also have to thank you guys that you are going through this insanity and getting up that early to commentate for us. Really, thanks a lot.
Happy birthday for tomorrow, D-Limes13.
Yeah. And nice soundtrack.